why the public sector is being changed in the reformation. The core sectors are something which actually helps the economy at large. Until regional disparity will not stop, we cannot grow our economy. Public sector enters the private sector market, the economy of scale is maintained. Hello everybody, a warm welcome to one and all. I'm Abhilash Chandra from the Department of Business Studies in Vidyashram PU College, the Temple of Excellence. In this session, we're gonna go with the topic called changing role in public sector. The thing is, what happened, why the public sector is being changed in the reformation, reconstruction, what are the uses of public sector utilities. Here we will understand what is that private sectors is getting the profitability and how is that they are making more wealth maximization. How is that the public sector can curb those private sector profitability so that it can do a good welfare for the society as well as the country. So we'll see all these things in this session. The first thing is changing role of public sector. What are the changes which will happen? The first one is development of infrastructure. Development of what? Infrastructure. See, when infrastructure is developed, so what is the meaning of infrastructure? That is your road construction. The road transportation should be what? Easily available, so that the movement of the goods will happen very fast, and then you will have what? The buildings, the management, the maintenance, all the physical things should be what? Developed. That is called development on infrastructure. The next thing is regional balance. Please understand the word balance. Balance is something which you are supposed to understand. We have here, I'll just write it here. We have city, okay, we have city, then we have town, okay, and we have metropolitan city, we have villages, okay, we have villages, we have taluk, okay, and we have so many other kind of a gram, zamindar, all these systems were there, right? Now there should be what? Regional balance. If you compare village with metropolitan city, there is no regional balance. Here metropolitan city, what happens is people you will find who are rich, who are middle class, who are below poverty line. But if you go with villages, now there are maximum people who are below poverty line than people being rich, okay. And if you go with town, now what happens is again it's a concentration of the middle class family and the below poverty line. When you go with cities or metropolitan, you have more variety. So what is it? The regional imbalance is there. When public sectors are placed in the villages, now what will happen is there is a chance of the trend to be changed. What is the trend? That is people who were below poverty line, now they can actually come above poverty line. That is what the real scenario of public sector being introduced in the villages. Next is economies of scale. What is it? Economies of scale. Economies of scale in the sense, what are the way they go with the production? That is all about production. Now production should be more. Next is check over concentration of economic power. That means, see here, private people will be there. Now you need to bombard their profitability. That is, if you will not go into the place where private people are playing, in the sense you should be the competitor for the private enterprise, when the public sector will be the competition for private people in their field. Now what will happen is the concentration of economic power will be reduced. That means private people will not make their own pricing thing, because the public people have come, that is the public enterprise have come. Now their pricing will definitely come down. That is what you are supposed to check. Next is government policies towards the public sector since 1991. That means 1991 was a place where we had LPG. Liberalization, privatization, globalization. Even in your economic classes, your lecturer will actually tell you about LPG more. Even in business studies, we're gonna go with it. LPG is all about liberalization, privatization and globalization. So these are the topics which will be covered in this session. So understand, the first one is development of infrastructure. When infrastructure is developed, that means what is it? There is a chance of development in that particular area. That's why the infrastructure should be developed everywhere, from your Kanyakumari to Jammu Kashmir to your Gujarat to Manipur. So everywhere it should be there. Next is regional balance. See, I'll tell you, regional balance is not attained in many of the places. The reason may be different, but you need to understand, only when there is a regional balance, then the economy will also go up, the standardization will actually increase, the per capita income will increase, and it will boost the economy. Next is economies of scale. It all depends on production. The next one is check over concentration of economic power. That means the private people are more as a player. See, earlier we had 17 public sectors. How much we had? We had 17 public sector. It was reduced to 8 public sector, and now I'll tell you what it is. It is reduced to 3 public sector. Now when 17 industries were there in that public sector, now it is only 3. Now what will happen? The check over concentration of economic power, it is more in private people. When private people are playing more in the market, now they'll start making their own price. When they make their own price, whatever we are supposed to pay is only what they demand. So understand, monopolistic marketing will be there. Monopolistic means we are only a single seller. But if the public sector again re-enters into all the departments, all the things, now what will happen? The concentration level of the economy of the private sector will reduce. That is what you are supposed to do. The last one is what? The government policies. What is that policy? 1991 ka, they started with what? More of liberalization. Liberalizing, that means you're giving free kind of a things. Privatization, all the public became the private. Globalization, the entire world becomes one single market. So the first one here we'll understand is the infrastructure. What is this infrastructure thing? Giving infrastructure to the core sector. Which are the core sector? You need to understand, the core sectors are something which actually helps the economy at large. That means the production is too very much huge, where funding is also more. So those are the core sectors which require huge capital investment. So you are supposed to develop the infrastructure. See, when you know that these are the industries, these are the places where you can get maximum profit, now what is that you should do? Now you need to invest and you need to boost those industries. If you don't boost, what will happen? Opportunity lost. Somebody will actually come, some private company will come, they'll take undue advantage of it and they'll start their own kind of a things, right? This is what happened when Jio was also introduced, the Reliance was introduced. Understand, BSNL was a public sector. BSNL, okay? I'll give you an example here. Now BSNL, or telecommunication industry, when they were in the top, what happened? The public started to accept BSNL the way BSNL was. Now from the telecommunication industry, what was the order? Public sector is there, but still private people also can play the game, is what the thing started. Now Reliance also started, Airtel, Vodafone, all those people were already there. Now what is it? They started to give more technology. That means they introduced technology in their telecommunication, but BSNL failed. The reason BSNL failed is what? Mismanagement. The management wasn't so efficient. So the other private people were there. They took the advantage. When private people took the advantage, now the demand for the public sector, which was this, it gradually became less, and after some time it declined. Now when it is declined, then you will have an thinking saying that should I continue or should I close it? Now BSNL, what is that happened? It's the same thing. They are in a dilemma whether they need to continue or they need to close it. But whereas the private, Now Reliance, they started, now where exactly they are? We went with 2G, then 3G, now 4G, now we are almost in the 5G. But where is BSNL? Try to understand. These are the things. Infrastructure you are supposed to improve, or else gone case. Next is, give a lead in investment to the core sector. Please go with investment. Huge investment is that you are supposed to pump finance. Say all, if everybody would have, the government would have given more, government, if they would have given more fund to BSNL, the technology would have been better. When the technology would have been better, they would have actually given a tough competition to the private people. Because the investment did not happen, what is that? The private people started to invest more. Within themselves, they invested more. They started to raise fund from the public, general public, and now where are they? They are actually in heights. Next, give a lead in investment to the core sector where private sectors, enterprises are not functioning in the desired direction. But I'll tell you what happens is, all the private sector people, they are functioning in a desired direction, that is profitability. The private people, they only go with what? One thing, that is profit. How to make profit, and they are making it. Next one, regional balance. What is this regional balance? All the way we used to only think about, is India developing country or a developed nation or underdeveloped nation? I'll tell you, in India itself, if you divide part by part, you will have few of the states who are developed. There are few states who are developing. There are few states who are underdeveloped. Now understand, in India only we have so many variation. If all the states started to be developed, automatically India will be developed. But what is that we think? We don't think like that. We think the whole India should be developed. How will India be developed when the states are not? Understand, this is what it is. You need to go to the grassroots. What is the grassroots? I'll tell you here. If you understand the grassroots, the first grassroots is the village. Now you need to actually develop villages. The next thing here is taluk. Then you will go with one more, that is zilla. Village, taluk, zilla. Then you will have something called the cities. Okay, city. Then still you have metropolitan city. Now understand, what is that we are doing? We are concentrating only on these two, cities and metropolitan cities. What about your village? Whatever your taluk or your zilla, you're not concentrating. The reason is what? Here you feel that it is not the headache of the government. Here it is a headache of the Zilla Panchayat, Taluk Panchayat or a village Panchayat. But here you are concentrating because you have MLA MP all the ways here. Understand, even MLA MP are here. If and only if you concentrate on the village and the village is developed, that means the entire India is developed. That is what the real scenario is. The government is responsible for developing all region, that means from the metropolitan city to the villages, all region, okay, and states in a balanced way and removing regional disparity. I'll tell you, to be frank, if they do it, India will be a developed nation within 10 years. But the problem is they don't want to do it, they want to maintain it. You can go with any of the example where central government is there, state government is there. Whenever state government want to implement something on the state, there is a problem from the central government. Reason is, I don't want to go politically, but I just want you to understand that what is the drawback. Okay, when central government want to do something to the state government or the public, now state government does not want to allow it. The reason is again their political scenario. So who are the people who are actually getting benefit out of it? That is the politicians or the business tycoons. But who are the people who are suffering from it? That is me and you, that is the general public. So until regional disparity will not stop, we cannot grow our economy in a uniformity. See, understand the way Goa has a status and Karnataka has a status. Karnataka has too much population than Goa if you compare. But when it comes to the economic disparity, you understand the way Goa generates the economy and the way Karnataka does it, there is a lot of difference. Goa is a small place, but see the infrastructure, see the funding which is happening, see the luxury life what the people actually spend. Understand Karnataka. If you just go with Karnataka, let's go with Karnataka, right? Understand how Bangalore city is and Mysore is. Then you will understand what is that government is doing. Is government responsible enough? How many industries Karnataka has? In that, how many are in Bangalore? How many are in Mysore? If you understand these things, you will get the real scenario of these statements. After 1951, see, understand this 1951 concept. 1947 is when we got independence. 1947, but we started our constitution, that is we started to adapt our own constitution in the year 1950. The same year we did not have any election, but we had from 1951 to 52. So we have the base has 1951. 1951 we started with the 5-year plan. What is it? 5-year plan. The government went with its 5-year plan. That means every 5 years the government need to change their plan accordingly. But what is the issues? I'll tell you. Every 5 years they used to plan, but the question is, whatever they have planned, did they achieve? If not, it is continued to next 5 years. Now there is no target and achievement. See, there is only target but no achievement. So next 5 years, next 5 years. Now that is where we lost our battle. After 1951, the government laid down in its 5-year plan that particular attention, that is attention would be paid to those regions which were lagging behind. But till now, I'll tell you, you can see in Uttar Pradesh or Madhya Pradesh, part of Bihar, you can actually see the disparity is so much that people are not able to even get fulfilled with the basic immunities, right? Basic sense, they don't know that they are supposed to get it. The reason is what? The local disparity, regional disparity. See, the basic need for a human is roti, kapada, makan, that is food, shelter and clothing. Many of the places, even in India, there are people who are not being given these basic needs. Next one is economies of scale. Economies of scale is all about this electric power, plant and machinery, all those things which should be like huge. Economy of scale should always be balanced. It should be always balanced. If it is not balanced, right, what will happen is there is a problem in that particular section. That is what you are supposed to understand. Now, electric power plants, natural gas, petroleum and telephone industry are some example of the public sector setting up large scale units. Now here you need to understand these are the things: power plants, natural gas, petroleum, telephone, all these things are there. Now economy of scale is what? The production should also be equivalently good. Okay, now I was telling you about this telephone. Now BSNL was there. Where is BSNL now? Production isn't there, productivity isn't there, people aren't there. The same way electric power plants is there. It's again what? It is one of the industries or some of the example of public sector setting up large scale unit. If you understand the way the scale was high, now the scale is less. The reason is what? The economies of scale now everywhere except three. One is arms and ammunitions, atomic energy, okay, atomic energy, and then railways. Apart from these three, everywhere the private players are there. When everywhere private players are there, only when the public sector enters the private sector market, the economy of scale is maintained, or else the private sector will actually go with this economy scale in a different league. That is, there will be no special balance, there will be imbalance if the private sector doesn't get any public sector competition. This is what does economy of scale is. Next is check over concentration of economy. What happens here is they shouldn't encourage monopolistic practices. What is this monopolistic practices? Where only one seller is there. Monopolistic practice means what? Only one seller is there. When there is only one seller, what will happen? I'll tell you. There is an advantage as well as disadvantage. If you compare, disadvantage is more than advantage. What is the disadvantage? Disadvantage is he can set his own price. Now there is no other competitor who is giving it a lesser price. Now what will happen? He'll be the Sardar in the market. Now when he'll be the king in the market, now customer isn't the king. Customer should actually go with what? Over exploited by the seller. Now what is the problem? The problem is the private sector will get more money. Public sector, what they should do? They need to enter to that market. When they enter to the market, monopolistic market will be different. That is, the monopolistic practice will come down. When it will come down, what will happen? Now the public will also get a competitive price. When public will get a competitive price, the public will also compare whether where we are supposed to go, to a private person or to a public person. That is public sector or a private sector. Now monopolistic practice give rise to inequality in income, which is determinantal of society. That means it is determinantal, it is actually in a negative way, because I'll tell you only one seller is there. Okay, one seller, whatever he is selling the product pricing may be less, but his pricing is more because there is no competition. So that is what leads to monopolistic practice. So what is the changing role? Private sectors are there. Why is that public sectors cannot come? So you need to pressurize the government and you need to encourage the government. See, pressurizing is one side, but also you need to encourage the government. When you encourage the government, definitely the government will actually take care of all these things and they will come to the market, and there will be what? There will be a check over concentration of economic power. The last one here is government policy towards the public sector, that is since 1991. So what really happened in 1991? Let's go with this. Okay, we had something called LPG. What is this LPG? One L is liberalization. Then P is privatization. G is globalization. Now here what happened in liberalization? Let's go with liberalization, right? Liberalization. Here in liberalization, what happened was the government started to think that why is our economy going down? When they thought about the economy going down, they got to know that there are many of the private people who don't want to come to a huge investment because they have a chance of getting loss. They will feel that they will get lost in this thing. So the government decided we need to change the tariff. What is it? Tariff. Tariff means rate. Tariff. Okay, tariff. They need to change what? The tariff. Understand? Restrict, that is restructure and revive potential viable PSU. PSU means public sector. This is sector, and U is undertaking. What is it? Undertaking. So public sector undertaking. Close down PSU which cannot be revived. That means first thing is you restructure and revive potential. Now if you feel that yes, somehow if we manage, if we go with ideas, if we create some kind of a thing, it can be a good platform for the PSUs. So those PSUs, you please reconstruct it. Close down PSU which you feel that after doing anything, whatever it is, it cannot go, so you just close it down, like shut it down completely. I know unemployment will be more, but still, what is it? Instead of getting lost, what is that you should do? Cut it off. Next is bring down government equity. What you should do? Bring down government equity. What type of equity? Now earlier we had 51% from the government. Now what will happen? The government is the autonomous body. Now what is that you should do? Bring down the equity. And how much? 26%. You bring down to 26%. But still government is here. But the remaining, I'll tell you, the remaining of 74%, that is from the private. That is what? From the private. So bring down government equity in all non-strategic PSU where you cannot go with strategies. Bring down to 26% or lower if necessary. Even if it is necessary, bring it down. That means what? Now the government interference is here. Still the private people also is there. That means what? The private people, because they have invested, they'll perform better is what the government feels here. Fully protect the interest of workers. Whatever you do, boss, you need to think about your employees. So you need to benefit your workers. You are closing down, you are restructuring, you are doing everything. But what is that? Fully you need to protect. That's why all this fringe benefits, incentives, allowance are given to the workers who are working in the government department. So these are the changing trend, the role in the public sector since 1991. For more updates, you are supposed to just watch our videos, like, share and subscribe our channel. Thank you so much. Till then, I'll see you when I see you.